Hey folks, Jeff here at Back to Country. I'm back on the road again. Got a long drive ahead of me. Just heading out of San Antonio. Alright, we made it to the property. Now we just got to get to the top of the hill. Looking good. Hey folks, Jeff here at Back to Country. Thanks for stopping by the channel today. If you've been hanging around for a while, you probably noticed I've been in the city for a bit. Well, I was actually there for a little over a month, and I don't like being there any more than I have to be. But unfortunately, when you're living on a fixed income, and with the prices of fuel and pretty much everything else these days, you gotta be smarter. So I can't just drive back and forth on a whim. Which means if I got something here or got something there, I gotta hang out and get it done before I make the trip one way or the other. And I had several things in the city, family related, had to do my semi-annual dental appointment, just stuff like that, you know, just prolong the stay. When you got something, you're like, well, it's not worth going back for 2 weeks and then having to come right back. So, you know, the stay gets extended that 2 weeks to do what you got to do. And then it got extended another week. I don't remember why. Just Lorena had been down visiting her parents, and so she got back, and then I was gonna leave, and I got to helping her with some stuff, and so yeah, that took another week. And anyway, I finally got back on the road, and here I am back at the property, and you know, everything looks great. It's looking a little dry. We're in a little bit of a drought, but you know, East Texas is a lot better off than a lot of other parts of Texas. So this isn't 2011 drought. This is not that bad. If you go back and look at the numbers and everything, you'll see that rain wise we're way above the numbers of 2011. So even though the fake news and everything wants you to believe that you know, climate change, apocalyptic, drought, blah blah blah, that's all BS. If you go look at the numbers, like I say, it was worse than 2011. So we ain't in panic mode or anything crazy like that. Overall, I mean, let me show you. You can see we got grass. It's green. Sure, there's some brown grass too. It's a mix, and there's a lot of these weeds. But in all honesty, it's been that way many times before. We got weeds growing up all around the shop. You can see them walls sure look good. They really look good. Love it. But yeah, you can see how much them weeds come up. So I guess we're gonna have to eventually get in a little bit of weed eating and clean all that up. But for now, it ain't hurting nothing, and I got other stuff to do. So I'm here solo this time. Lorena had she's got her dental appointment coming up. Unfortunately, ours ain't matched exactly, and so she stayed for that. And then she also has some family coming to town and so forth. So she's taking care of that kind of stuff, you know. And yeah, just lots of stuff always going on, right? Anyway, everything looks good in the shop. We got a little housewarming plant here. It's nice to have our own terrarium with our plants growing in the shop. You know, that's real pretty. Yeah, that's just some weeds. So if you're unfamiliar with what we got going on there, so basically that's a plumbing box. So it's just a cardboard box that we put in there with the plumbing that goes under the shower pan. And you know, you never know exactly how that's going to line up. So that is all just put in there and nothing's glued. And then we fill it with dirt, put a little box in there, fill it with dirt. And then you go ahead and pour your concrete. And when we put the plumbing in, when we put the shower pan in, we'll go back and we'll line up that drain exactly, glue everything, and get it set correctly. And then we'll come in and pour a sack of concrete in there and fill that in. And it'll be good as ever. And that's what'll be underneath the shower. You'll never see it or anything. But that's how we make sure that we got a little bit of flexibility in that drain, so that like I say, when we put the shower pan in, we can line everything up perfect. So that's what's going on there, and pretty much that's how they do it in most slab foundations. No big deal. Everything looking good. So what I got to do this week, try to get started on it today. I'm going to use the scaffolding, I guess, and kind of roll along and start putting some thermal brake tape on top of the purlins. And since Lorena's not with me, and I don't, you know, I can only do so much without her. It really takes a lot more than two people to do one of these shops, but her and I have managed to get her done, and you know, it's hard to do things without her. But I got to get something done, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start prepping for the roof, and yeah, I may have another surprise in store, but I'll save that. Anyway, that's what I got going on the shop. And my tractor's sitting up there. It's got a cylinder leaking on the bucket. Before, I replaced the 2 cylinders on the right side. Well, now the cylinders on the left side are leaking. I should have done them all at the same time, but you know, when you're busy and you got priorities, you try to just limp along and fix things as they break, and stretch it out so that you can get your other work done. You know, if I went to fixing every single thing around here that's broke, I'd be doing nothing but full-time mechanicking. I mean, every piece of equipment I got needs something done to it, but it comes down to priorities and you know, what we need to do versus what we want to do. You know, I mean, this old dozer, it runs good, it does what I need it to do, but it needs some work. Needs a little bit of work. Looks like I need to tighten up my track there just a little bit. I don't know, it's sagging slightly, but not too bad. But this thing, I need to rebuild the valve body on it, because you got brakes on these things, and so you got one main brake. You can see 3 pedals in there. Well, 4 actually. So this is the gas pedal. And this is an older one that it's an accelerator, not a decelerator. This is the main brake pedal, so this locks up both sides evenly. And then over there you got two brake pedals. Those brake pedals lock one track, so you're left and right, and it'll lock up your track. And when it locks up the track, it also disengages the transmission from it. So it's connected to the main valve body, and that basically stops the connection to the transmission and locks up the track, so you can pivot real hard. Now, I don't drive with those. I don't ever honestly use them unless I like really need to turn tight. I guess I would use it, but I really don't use them. So one of them, I believe the left side track, the valve body on the brake part of it, where the brake line goes in, it's got a little leak. I guess a seal or something went bad inside there, and so it doesn't provide any brake pressure, which means that it doesn't work. It won't lock up the track, and it won't disengage the transmission because there's no pressure on that line. So I need to rebuild that valve body and fix that. But since I never use it, it's not a priority. It's just something that, you know, I like my equipment to be fully functional 100%. Everything else on this thing, other than the lights don't work. I got to rewire that and probably put in some new bulbs and stuff. But again, that's not a priority because I don't run at night, so I don't really need the lights. It's just something that, you know, eventually I'd like to fix, and I'd like everything on this dozer to be 100% because that's just the way I am. But functionally it works. I mean, it runs great, it pushes, none of the cylinders leak, and you know, it does what it's supposed to do. Just it's got those two things that need fixed. So it's not a big deal, and it's not a priority because I don't use it. So, you know, I got other stuff to do. And that's the thing. Like I say, if I did every piece of equipment here, I can tell you what's wrong with every single piece of equipment. It's all trivial stuff, whatever. The only one right now that I have to fix is the tractor, because you start it up, I mean, it actually leaks hydraulic fluid. The packing on that cylinder is gone, and so it's got to be fixed. So that's a project that I've got to do. I went to town yesterday and picked up all my seals and everything to repack that. And of course, since the last time I did that, I don't remember how many months ago, I fixed that other cylinder, but I'm gonna say maybe 6 months at the most, probably less than that. In that time, the prices on all the seals, the exact same set of seals, the prices went up, I don't know, 10 to 15%. So that kind of gives you an idea of what's going on with inflation. I went to the store yesterday and picked up some groceries, and damn, you know, it's only me here, and I still spent, I don't know, I think between Walmart and Sam's, I think I spent close to $500 just on groceries to stock my pantry for this trip. And I bought fuel. I spent, I don't know, 130 I think on fuel, and that's just gasoline for the generators, and I've topped off my truck. So, you know, basically $500 worth of groceries, I think it was $110 for my parts, and another 130 bucks for fuel. You know, that adds up quick. It's like 800 bucks just to run to town and grab stuff that I need just to get going for this trip. And unfortunately, with this heat this summer, I've got to run the generator just about 24/7 to keep the air conditioner running. When I got up here, the temperature inside the RV, I think, was 104. So that's the heat soak, you know, of it just sitting there in the heat. And that's what it got up to, 104. Now, whether it was higher than that before, I have no idea, but that's where it was sitting. And of course, it wasn't 104 degrees outside. That's just what inside was. It was only about 100 outside. Still hot. Anyway, so you know, it takes hours to cool that thing down when it gets like that, so it's best to just keep it cool, you know. So I got to run the generators 24/7 to keep that thing cool, tolerable. Now what I've been doing is right now I've got my two little generators running in parallel, and I like how quiet they are. But what I do is I typically run these at night and in the morning, and the reason I do that is because they have that econo mode, and so when they're not under load, it'll automatically slow down, and that saves fuel. So basically, with the air conditioner at nighttime and early in the morning cycling and not staying on full time, I'm able to run those smaller generators, and they'll, like I say, they'll cycle down when they're not under load, and that saves fuel. And so, you know, those fuel tanks are 1.1 gallon, and when I'm running them right now, 1.1 gallons, I'm getting 12 hours, maybe a little more, on a tank of gas. So of course, because there's two of them, it's 2 tanks of gas. But you know, 2.2 gallons of gas for 12 plus hours, that's all right, you know, compared to the other ones. So the bigger one that's sitting next to it, that one I'll run during the afternoon when everything's running constant and it's basically under full load. And on a tank of gas, I want to say that's about 3.5 gallons of gas to fill that tank, and I'll get maybe 7-8 hours on it. So pretty drastic difference between that and the little ones. I know when I first did the testing on that, I didn't think that, I thought it worked out to about the same, but different conditions. Maybe that one generator was breaking in because it was new, but now they're both working great. They're running about the same amount of hours on a tank of fuel, so basically they run out of gas about the same time. So that's pretty good. I'm real happy with that. Anyway, I've rambled on enough. I just wanted to give you an update of what's going on, and you know, where we're at in our progress here on the homestead. Oh, of course, I need to get that road finished too. The road's still a mess. It hasn't really gotten worse, but it ain't gotten better either, you know. So I need to start building that road out and get that done before the rainy season comes again. I gotta get that thing fixed. So that's another project, and that'll mean moving a bunch of dirt, because I gotta fill in that one side of the road. So that'll be some videos doing that too. So I got some projects to keep me busy while I'm here. I have no idea how long I'm gonna be here. I guess until something forces me to go back to town. I am waiting for the doors. So, you know, excuse me, you know, I talked before about the doors on the shop. Those are on order, And so I'm waiting for those to arrive. The estimated date is August 12th for shipment from the factory. So that'll ship them from the factory to the Menards store in Hollister, Missouri. I believe the factory's up in Ohio. And so that's projected for August 12th. We'll see. I'm kind of watching it to see if there's any updates, but so far it still just says August 12th. So hopefully those get shipped on time, and once they get shipped and arrive at the store up in Missouri, then I'll have to take a drive from here up to there. It's about a 6.5 hour drive, I believe. So that'll be a couple days there, driving up to Missouri to get the doors and everything for this shop. Once we get the doors on, the roof on, and all the trim done, then we'll be ready to spray foam. So I gotta start getting the bids on the spray foam, and you know, just keep making progress. So anyway, that's where we're at. As always, stick with us. Let's see how it goes. I'm sure it'll continue to be an adventure. Like always, really appreciate your guys' support. Love the comments and everything. It's definitely helps motivate us, and watching other YouTube channels and their projects, what they're doing, helps motivate us as well. So, you know, love y'all. Keep pouring out that support. It really does help, because this ain't easy work. This ain't easy work. So we need all the motivation and support we can get. But like I say, thanks for stopping by. Until the next one, take care and God bless, and we'll see you on the next one.